Hi. Today we're going to compare a 2011 Marshall AFD100 to a 1977 Marshall Super Bass that has been modded by Daniel Forsberg to a S.I.R Studios number 39. It's somewhere in between 39 and 36. 36 is a copy of 39. Tim Caswell did 39 and then Frank Levi copied that one. And 36 is what ended up on the Appetite for Destruction album. The AFD100 has both a AFD mode, which I assume refers to the 36, and it's also got the 34 mode. And that's a mode that Slash used later, as I have understood it, in his career on Use Your Illusion. For instance, it was done to a JCM 800, that one. Now I found an isolated track of Slash's guitar on YouTube for the track Welcome to the Jungle. So I've actually EQ matched. So first I recorded the Forsberg 39 amp and then the AFD100. So I recorded those and tried to make it sound as close to the Welcome to the Jungle track as possible. And then I also applied EQ matching on it, because it's extremely bright, the track. So first we're going to listen to both these two amps recorded as best I can and then EQ matched also. So let's check it out. So I think that comes really close to the tone. Now my playing is not as aggressive and forward feeding as Slash is playing. So maybe it's hard to hear that it's close, but the tone is really close here. I have a link in the video description to the isolated track of Welcome to the Jungle that you can compare to. When you look at the curves here, you can see that for the AFD100, you needed to cut lots of the upper mids. I think between 2, 3, 4K or something like that. Way too much of that in the AFD100. And then for both amps, you had to boost a lot around 10, which is weird because I mean there is really no guitar content there. So that was surprising to me. Then you had to cut away some, I think 800, and a lot of bass needed to be cut away on the Forsberg Super Bass. Needed to cut lots of bass. Now it's not Super Bass anymore. It's just what it started out. It's up to the specs of the 39. Now listen to how these two amps sounded in the room instead. So here I'm going to use two mics now. So at the first section here, we only used the SM57 close mic. So here I'm going to use a mellower close mic to combine with the SM57, namely Electro Voice RE10. And we're going to combine it with the room mic also, an AKG C414 BXL2. So let's listen how that sounds. here you can hear that the AFD100 is a lot darker than the 39 Forsberg amp. The Forsberg amp actually comes really close to the, even in the room, it comes without any post-processing, it comes really close to the slash tone, I think. And the AFD100 is way too dark, but it sounds great. And EQ matched, it sounds great too. But it's darker than you may expect the slash amp. And by darker, I mean in the over 6K. So you see, I had to add some treble in post to it, and that took care of a bit. So the content is basically there. There is enough sizzle to on the top to enhance for it to sound realistic. But in the room, it's darker than the Forsberg amp. Now I'm going to play a bunch of riffs here, and we're going to switch a bit between having the room sound and the where it sounds like it does in the room, and also with the EQ matching, which is closer to the slash tone. All right.
Welcome to the channel, Daniel. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Johan. Long time no hear.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I'm fine, thanks. So I was blown away by as usual by your amps, and in this case the S.I.R Studios mod you did on my super bass.
Thank you.
It's when I compared it in this video to the AFD100, it was way brighter and way closer than the AFD100. So have you compared the schematics between what they used in the AFD100 and what you used?
Yeah, somewhat. But even though I have the original schematics for the AFD100 from Marshall, not every component's value are written in that schematics. So some values seem to be secret.
Okay.
But if I look at the S.I.R 39 schematics, it's not 100% the same as the AFD100. I think that Marshall made the AFD100 more versatile and not that extreme that the S.I.R 39 actually was, because the S.I.R 39 is very trebly and have quite many treble increases, high pass filters that altogether contribute to that electric sound that S.I.R has and had, especially on Appetite for Destruction and User Illusion, were electric and trebly and
yeah, it does indeed, and it does that very much better on the amp you have modified for me than for the AFD100 I tried. I like the AFD100 too, but it didn't have the, as you said, electrical sense. That it's about to blow up. But I think yours did. Have they used less treble increasing? Less high pass filters than the original, or what is? Why is it to play it safe, basically, that they did that?
Yeah, in the AFD100 they have some of the treble increases and high pass filters as well, but in some stages they also have rounded off the trebles. So I don't really know why, but maybe because to make the amp more stable and not that extreme as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah,
I think so. At least. I cannot say 100% that I'm right, but
yeah, I think the S.I.R 39 amp that you have built for me it is well, it's not the one trick pony, but it has the bass is not enough for many other styles, but it's just the perfect slash amp. And one thing that I think is really cool about it is that it's very quiet. And usually when you do mods on amps that to increase gain and increase treble, it is just a mess of noises and so. What is your philosophy? How can why are your amps always so quiet, even though there's some that they're about to blow up? I think that's impressive.
It comes down a lot to the layout, grounding. You could not just ground the preamp at any place in the amp. You have to choose the right place to ground or earth it. I put a lot of time to achieve that, make the amp quiet, and also quite noise-free, hum-free. So, of course, there are lots of hiss if you tweak the treble and presence and so on, and lots of gain, but still you should able to play it without a lot of feedback and so on. So but the layout, grounding, and the use of at the right places in the amp is extremely important.
Yeah.
Especially in the 3 first gain stages, where you build up the gain. It's very important. Yes.
I heard Ken Fisher was very good at that with his Trainwreck amps. That was a part of the of many things that made him and his work great. So I think it's kind of cool that there are several dimensions here. One dimension is the circuit, and another dimension is kind of the execution of it. How you implement it physically with components and wires and so on. I think it's kind of seems like an artistic job almost.
Yes, indeed. I kind of feel like a painter or an artist when I build my amps. It's like my own sound landscape and like a painting for an artist. So
cool.
But indeed, there are lots of technical work also, and you really have to know your things, so that first of all you have to separate the mains supply, the power supply. You have to distance it from the preamp as much as you can. So I found that the use of 2 different grounding places are the best, because then you can use the power supply grounding at one place in the amp.
Yeah.
Or the chassis, if you will, the preamp grounding for itself. Sometimes just one star ground also could be the best thing, but usually I found that 2 grounds are the best. Twist the cables really hard and distance them from the signal cables and so on, and separate them from the gates of the tubes, the signal. Separate them, and then you will have a much quieter amp.
Yeah, I think it's really important. Because many amps have lots of gain, but if it is so noisy that you can't hear the end of the tone, you lose so much of the information. And that's what I like about one of many things I like about your amps is that it's very extreme, lots of gain, but completely controlled also. So and all those small things, I reckon, contributes, to
Indeed.
so because at some level it is quiet enough that things appear that you didn't think was there, and that was kind of obscured by all the noise. So it's a really interesting aspect. I was meaning to ask you about some other thing. I know you are also really interested in speakers, like I am.
Very much.
When we did our videos the last time, we used G1280 on this amp for the slash tone. But today I used blackbacks instead, G12M blackbacks. And it's said that Slash used G1280, but I think I got closer with these speakers. What do you think?
I think so too, and as you say, it's very important which speakers to use. And after you actually made the Slash videos, but before that we collaborated very much about. You came to me with your amps, and we sat down together and listened to them, and we got all the information and schematics and so on. So and then we tried. I think it was 4 different speakers. It was the G1280 vintage 30s and greenbacks, and I also bought some classic lead 80s, and they are supposed to be the reissue of the G1280, I think.
Yeah.
And we tried a lot, and I think then we really thought that G1280 was the way to go. But after that, you have tried lots of speakers, and I think, as you say, that the greenbacks nail it even more. I think the trebly electrical kind of sound.
Yeah, greenbacks and blackbacks, but mainly the T12 21, and in this case it was T1220, so it was 8 ohm I used for this video.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really remember the classic lead that you bought. I was impressed by because it was a completely new speaker, and it really sounded like Slash out of the box. So if anyone asks what to buy today on the market, I would say classic lead 80 definitely for the Slash.
Of course, yeah. I think that the classic lead 80 comes closer to Slash's sound than vintage 30s, especially the new manufactured Wii 30s.
Indeed.
Maybe the old ones are a lot closer, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I would love it if we could meet sometime. I'm really glad you took time for this interview, but maybe we could meet, and because I would love to discuss the DF line. And another historical amps like the KF that you did earlier on, and discuss your philosophy and so on. Maybe we could meet and jam and do a video together.
Of course, I would be happy to do that. So absolutely.
Great. Well, really glad to talk to you, Daniel. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah. Same to you, Johan, and thank you for inviting me to this conversation. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, man.